Already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we're talking the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 11. Okay, so um this episode was cute. I mean, it was cute. That's really all I can say is that it was cute. You know, maybe I think I have gotten so accustomed to there being some level of, it just feels like nothing really relevant is happening, story-wise or otherwise. I feel like we are still stuck in this TJ and Stacy matrix. And to be honest with you, I don't know that I care anymore. I really don't. I think that their relationship is their relationship. If they're not doing it, they don't have to be doing it. She's still in a divorce. So it probably behooves them to not even talk about doing it on the show. And to be quite honest with you, I just feel like it's really at this point nobody's business. And Stacy probably should just be focused really on her divorce. That's really it. I mean, I don't know how many times we could circle the drain with this conversation, with him at the events, him not at the events. I don't care. That's where I'm at with it. We didn't wore it out like Wendy's birthday. I'm out of steam with Karen about TJ and Stacy and whatever they are or not doing in the bedroom. Okay? I don't care what any of them are doing in or out of the bedroom. To be quite frank with you, like, I mean, I think it's you know, those conversations are fun chatter, but when it's the entire episode, it's kind of like maybe that's what the greater contingency of people really like to hear about. I don't know, but I need some movement, some things happening, and I think probably I'm so used to the adrenaline rush of a Salt Lake City that I'm used to the adrenaline rush of a Salt Lake City, the intensity and the extravaganza, you know, of a Beverly Hills, the danger that in Love and Marriage Huntsville, and so by comparison with all of these shows happening, Potomac feels like, you know, a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you like a walk in the park and sometimes you don't. It depends on if it's a sunny day or not. You know, sometimes you do need a walk in the park. And so, given that that is the key difference, I think, this season, I mean, I can appreciate it for what it is, but in terms of a review, it doesn't make it as exciting for me because there's not a lot for me to go off on or go in on. And that's what I like to do in a fun way. Somebody yesterday in the chat told me I was disgusting. It was in a comment, said that I was disgusting for the way I so carelessly handled and spoke about the delicate situation that is Latricia, and Marquez's and Ken's family dynamic. And I'm thinking to myself, are you new here? You must be new. Because that's how I do. You know, for me, it is about having a good time with the entertainment that's being provided on the television screen. And if you can't have a good time with it, if you're taking it that seriously, if you were that emotional about it, maybe you shouldn't watch this channel's reviews because I'm gonna have a good time. So let's try to have a good time with what we got to work with. Okay. All right. If I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it maybe a 7.98. I give it an 8. Let's give it a solid 8 because I got something to watch. I got something to do. But even the episode description is like, usually it'd be a paragraph. It's literally 2 sentences. Stacy gets heat for her relationship. Wendy makes an invitation to festivities. Karen hosts a party. That last section is split by a semicolon. So it's technically 1 sentence. All right. This episode is season 9, episode 11, called Secrets of the Love Lagoon. All right. So we start the episode off with Karen and Gizelle sitting down for a nice little, well, Mia is with her kids, and she's doing some, high flying things in the air that seem kid friendly. I don't know. There's that. Cute. I did like her new confessional look, so props for that. I think I definitely prefer her with the black hair because it just for some reason pops a bit better than the blonde. But I did appreciate the blonde for the trying something new. But the new confessional looks amazing. Just more discussions with her and the kids. Cute scene. Karen and Gizelle sit down with Stacy to have a conversation with her about getting some more uh clunker in her life, And when I say clunker, I mean thing, getting some of that D. You know what I'm saying? So they want her to get some D. And Stacy's just kind of like, TJ's a good Christian man. Fine, girl, fine. Listen, if you like it, I love it. Karen and Gizelle is probably the more interesting thing about this scene is probably just seeing Karen and Gizelle give this woman some advice, because it is fun to watch Karen and Gizelle when they are in alignment with each other. It's fun to watch. Like, they know how to give a scene and make it fun, even as they're not chastising her, but they're trying to give her some what they feel like is sage advice about, I believe, what their beliefs are about men in general. And again, to me, there is some level of thought amongst the ladies that TJ is allegedly spinning the block, or whatever they call it, down in LA when he's working. And he may be, based on his response, but because they are technically just BFFs. So at the end of the day, it would just behoove Stacy to move with caution, as she is divorcing this man with a lot of money. Girl, just move with caution and don't listen to none of these people and what they telling you about what to do with your private life, because I guarantee you they're not telling you what they doing in the bedroom and with who. Okay, let's be clear, they're not, but they want you to tell it. So if I were you, I would keep your mouth shut about your romantic entanglements and what goes on in and around your bedroom. Okay? Because we've been talking about it for too long and I don't care no more. All right. Next, there is a really nice group scene with all the ladies got back together again. Wendy has invited the ladies to a little shopping experience. I did like this scene. I would like to see more of these types of scenes, to be honest with you. She's invited the ladies out to a shopping experience so she can announce that they are going to Panama for their cash trip. Thank God, at least Potomac is getting the out of the country treatment. And Panama, funny enough, has been on my radar of places to go. I have a friend, uh one of my best friends went there this past June. I think it was June. So I want to know what that I need to ask him what his experience was like there, but I guess we'll get to see it through the TV screen. So, I always talk to y'all about manifestation, about speaking things into existence. So as I have been speaking this thought randomly of wanting to go there, because I was actually looking to go. I looked at when we were in that period of time where we were voting. I don't even say the word on my channel no more. I realized that I needed to get when I wanted to get out of the country for a bit, I was looking at Mexico. I looked at Iceland because I don't know if you guys have heard of Play Airlines, but they are an airline that has, I guess, maybe a hub in Reykjavik, Iceland. So if you are ever looking to go there, if you're in the DMV, I know they fly out of Baltimore. So I was looking at that, and they have some really, really good prices, but I needed to be back on a certain day, and I could not get back on the day that I really wanted to, and which it all worked out in anyway for certain reasons. But then I looked at I also looked at Costa Rica, I looked at Dominican Republic, I looked at Paris, I looked at Panama. So it's funny to me, and I didn't know. I don't even think I knew that they went to Panama. I know that they went to Central America, I believe, and maybe I did know, but it's just nice to. It's interesting to see that come back around for me, So I get to see what this is like. So now it's going to be in my brain to go. All right. So with that being said, Jacqueline, who has not been around the girls in a minute, Karen is having her Love Lagoon party, and Jacqueline has not gotten an invite because Karen and Jacqueline are not getting along at this point. So Mia at least has the wherewithal. On any other show, they would have had Mia bring Jacqueline and not even ask Karen. They would have had that being done. But I do have to give Mia some credit for having the wherewithal to ask advice to some people about maybe bringing Jacqueline as what she calls her lesbian lover. And I think that's probably a riff on what the ladies have been saying about her. But she talks to Wendy and Ashley about it. Of course, Ashley's like, yes, 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 bring her, bring her, bring her. We need the scenes. We need the scenes. But Wendy is looking like, And when Mia does go directly to Karen and asks her, hey, I don't, Ink is, Gordon is busy, Ink is busy. Is it okay if I bring Jack? She can't even get the word Jacqueline out of her mouth, and Karen is like, nope, not in my house. Okay. And for that, I can say, you have to appreciate Karen taking that stance. If I'm not getting along with somebody, there is no way that you are coming into my home. No. Like, the energy that comes into the sanctuary has to be good. And if it's not, you gotta go. So I appreciated that. The ladies are trying on clothes. Again, it was a busy scene. It was a busy scene. I liked it. This felt like something we would see on like a Beverly Hills. And I think that's maybe why I liked it. And we don't really always see these ladies in this type of environment unless they're on a trip. Like, just add a little shopping experience where they do have to pay for the clothes, but I just like that they did it, right? So more of this, Potomac ladies, please. Stacy then has a scene with her auntie, I think. And auntie gives her some good advice. I mean, auntie finds out about TJ and, Stacy not having gotten any of the D in quite some time. And I'm like, girl, if you want to go get some, just please go get some. Like, if that's what you want, go and get some. You ain't getting it from TJ. Y'all are just best friends. Does he really even need to know? Because y'all ain't together. I don't know. Riddle me that, somebody, because I'm beyond the point of caring at this point, because I don't know how much longer I can continue to talk about this thing that's not moving. It's not moving. So after you get this divorce, let's revisit the subject then. I don't need Stacy for this relationship with TJ on the show. Stacy is fun and funny by herself. Now, auntie does say, listen, get out of your marriage first before you start trying to, mess around and do all these other things with these other men, this man and whatnot. And I agree at this point, because at this point I'm tired. So anyway, Gizelle is on a date with Namza. I think his name is Namza. Um, and I like Namza. I like Namza. I like the energy he's giving her, and they're going salsa dancing. Very apropos. Very apropos for Gizelle, who is a self-pronounced non-dancer. Okay. But I think sometimes for dates, it's nice to get out of your familiar element. So this was nice to see. She does say though that she needs somebody who's a little meaner to her. And I don't be understanding that. Like, maybe it's I don't know. I need, like, if in a dating situation, like, I want somebody that's gonna provide me with some peace. Like, I want to feel like I'm at home. I'm like, I ain't got to worry about you being mean to me. Like, I don't get that, but I don't get that mentality. So maybe it's not meant for me to get. And maybe Giselle is at a stage in her life where she want to be, because in one breath she's saying she want him to be a little mean, but in the next breath, the next day, she's acting aghast when Mia reveals that Ink likes to choke on her a little bit when they doing the thing. And I'm like, why are you so shocked by that? If you want somebody to be a little mean to you, I mean, that's mean right there. I mean, it's mean, but it's done. It's usually done in an intimate way, in an intimate setting. And she did not have that same reaction when somebody else, I think it was Jazzy's man, revealed that he likes to do that too. So I don't know. Like, I mean, what's your metric for mean? Like, do you just want him to be a little nasty to you, not pick up the phone for a couple of days, ignore you for a little while, so you got to chase after him? I don't know. That it be some backwards thinking sometimes when people be dating, and I just don't be understanding. But anyway, to each his own. Speaking of scenes that I don't necessarily quite always understand, is Kiana scene um with her man Greg. I think that's his name. She reveals that she's going to be going on a girls trip, and he's like, a nice and peaceful girls trip. It is evident that basically he really don't want to be on the show. He don't want her on the show, likely because he has recognized that she has been seriously hurt by being on this show. So she's kind of like, I need you to be more understanding. And as she speaks about their relationship, I almost don't ever understand why they're together, because it comes across like he really don't like her that much. I don't really know. I can't explain it. Like, there's a disconnect that I feel, and it feels like when she's describing their relationship, it just feels disconnected to me. And I don't, but I have to readily admit that I'm not in a household. So this could be just what I'm seeing based on him having to film and maybe not really wanting to be there. Thank God her brother was there. Okay. She should have just filmed a scene with her brother, because he was more intriguing in the sense of asking questions and just seeming a lot more interested and invested in what they have going on. And he seemed just more jovial, more happy, like just I don't know. I just felt like when she's with Greg, he seems like he's bringing her energy down, or the energy in general down. And again, it's probably because he don't really want to be there. Because in real life, he might just be like happy as a clam, but that's not what I get. So I really can't really explain what picture I'm what am I supposed to get from their scenes? I ask this every time I watch their scenes. And the thing that I always end up coming away with is he don't want to be there, or it feel like he don't really like her. And I hate to say that because I'm sure they have a loving relationship, and I really like Kiana. She's one of those types of people that she is subtle in her the way she moves. Like when she Panama, I really prefer big cities in Europe. And I get you. I get you. Sometimes you go to sometimes you go on vacation and you get there and it'd be like an island or something like that. I'm not gonna call out any specific island, but you'll get there and you'll be like, ooh, hmm, okay, let me adjust my expectations and let me just get into Zen mode. Because some islands, in general, or some beach vacations are really just meant for you to just relax and not be fabulous. And it sounds like she wants to go someplace where she can go and be fabulous and eat caviar and drink champagne. Definitely go to Switzerland. Okay. Lucerne. All right. So with that being said, you know, everybody is headed over to the Love Lagoon party at La Dame's house. And, she's got the mermaids, she's got the blue drinks. I mean, she's done it up, and Wendy even says, imitation is the strongest form of flattery. So who's throwing the best party? Is it Dr. Wendy or La Dame? Vote in the chat. Vote in the chat. I want to know what y'all think. Who threw the better shindig? Was it La Dame or La Doctor? I'll let you be the judge. Meanwhile, subtle shade, but shade nonetheless. And come on and bring it, Dr. Wendy. Okay. So meanwhile, Ashley comes with her new boo. What did Wendy call that boy? Young Jack Harlow or something like that. That kind of is the vibe he gives, right? Gizelle brings Namza. All right, we ain't seen Gizelle bring a man around the group like this in a minute. Jazzy and her man come. TJ and Stacy show up. BFFs forever. Mia comes alone. And Kiana arrives with Greg don't want to be there. So the festivities start off, of course, with the messiest of questions. Who here believes their partner's cheated? Who's gonna answer that honestly? Nobody, except for Jazzy. Jazzy's like, I believe my man is cheated, and looks right dead at him. Everybody's like, ooh. Because something about this timeline and this baby and this, I don't know. He says they were on a break. I don't really know. The fact that he didn't react in that moment, and the fact that she stood on 10 toes down on it, I love it. I love it. Because whatever relationship they got going on, that works for them. I like to see stuff like that, to be honest with you, where the two people recognize something happened and we just gonna move on from it, right? Like, and what I also like is the rest of the ladies ain't running around trying to dig into, this nook and cranny with it. They just let it be. In previous seasons, I felt like this would have been the topic of conversation. And I love that they are just like, I'm minding my business. That's their business. And that's listen, it sounds crazy, but girl, you handling it. Okay. Because I think that, again, it's just, to me, it's evolved thinking. These are relationships that, at the end of the day, these relationships involve two people. And the two people involved are the ones who set the rules and the boundaries for their relationship. And when things happen in relationship, if you are going to determine that you want to be with this person for the rest of your life, You have to determine what things you can deal with and what things you can't, and what are deal breakers. And everybody's deal breakers are different. And the more we learn that, the more we are able to, really kind of just say, you know what, I respect what you're doing, right? I respect it because you living in it, you owning it, and you know it, and y'all have chosen to move past it, and that's just that. I'm here for it. Do it, make it do what it do. Um, TJ is put in the hot seat because it is revealed by Stacy that the ladies think that she needs to get some more D on the side because he's not giving it to her. And I was shocked that she actually went there. And I was like, oh, Stacy is coming on board. She put her own man in the hot seat. And she threw Gizelle and Karen under the bus in front of him. I like that she let them know it was them that said it, right? Um, and TJ has some interesting responses. To me, there's a question that comes up from Kiana's turn where she goes and she's like, listen, who's more dominant and submissive in the bedroom? And she's like, listen, TJ, baby, this is for you. And he's like, I done the do before. I done the do before. And when Stacy says that she's more dominant in the bedroom, he's like, well, I don't know what you're gonna do when you with me because I'm gonna be the dominant one around here. And that's the type of talk I think that she probably has needed to hear from him all along, that really probably would get her going in anticipation, because I think that's what she wants to hear. Like, she wants to hear that he wants her. I think that that's all she really wants. She wants to feel wanted by him. That's what I think. Ashley is, because she is sexually fluid, she says that she's more dominant with the women and she is more submissive when she is just being Ashley. And I'm like, well, if you're with the women, are you someone else? Like, but I also think that this goes a long way towards Ashley's in-person demeanor. I told you when I met Ashley for the first time, I felt like she had this cool, sexy, almost like, it gave a little dominant sort of energy. I can't really explain it to you, but it was just, she's on some, like, her vibe is so chill, right? I can't explain it. So, but I can see what she was saying, right? Her man is more dominant, Eddie is dominant, all the men say that they're dominant. But Ray is like, Karen used to tear me up, okay? Karen was on the loose. Now, the part that rattled me was when asked about, do you believe your spouse is cheating? And Ray said no, and Karen and everybody's face, when Ray said no, he don't believe Karen is cheated, everybody's face was looking like, and Gizelle flat out says it in her confessional, like, what? And we get these flashbacks of the blue-eyed man. Now, because we ain't never seen no proof, this is honestly reminiscent to me of the Marceau of it all. It's like y'all have shown these things amongst each other, but as far as the general public is concerned, we haven't really seen it. So, to be quite honest with you, I'm just gonna go. I have no other choice but to go with what Karen is saying. Like, I just, it'd be much ado about what. I'm bored with it. It's 9 seasons in, and we're still talking about these same things. Like, can we talk about something else? And in a bold move, as the Jaws music is playing, we see Jacqueline rounding the corner, having the balls and the unmitigated audacity to show up to the Love Lagoon at Karen's house uninvited, okay? As she's rounding the corner, Karen is getting up like, no, 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 no. And I'm taking away a point. Yep. I'm taking away a point. The episode is getting a 7 from me, actually, because I've repeatedly said overuse of the to be continued is annoying to the audience. Please stop. Like, I get that this wasn't even a big enough moment for it to be continued. It didn't warrant it. 2 per season. 2 per season. 2 per season. That is all you need. If the moment ain't that, I mean, and granted, it was probably the most the most dramatic thing that happened in this episode. But like again, in an episode, we've had 2 episodes right now that have been mostly about relationships, and no needles have been really moved all that much forward. I just kind of feel like give us the preview for next week. I mean, because give me something, because no, stop it. Please stop. Please stop. It feels lazy. And we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We've taken the show in a completely new direction. We've been successful with that. Give us the next week's episode preview. And I know we're going to get it throughout the week, but still, like, give it to me at the time that I'm watching the show. That's my biggest complaint about this episode. All right. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. I'm interested to know, like, what do you think? How are you feeling about it? I don't know. I have to give it a 7. I have to take away a point because I've said it and I've said it and I've said it, and it just keeps happening and happening and happening. And I'm like, my goodness. In a season that is not as dramatic, these to be continues are not. It's just uncalled for. It's just uncalled for. So if you're gonna give us a softer season, then at least keep us on the edge of our seats with anticipation about what we're going to see next. Okay? All right. So with that being said, we will also be talking about Married to Medicine a bit later. So I am going to go watch that and make my notes and review, and then we will do that. And we're going to get all the tea on that. I think Dr. Heavenly was on Watch What Happens Live, so I've got a lot of content to consume and quite little time because the cleaning people will be here in a little bit. So once that happens, I'm unable to record unless I'm driving in the car. Okay. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Now that you've watched today's video, let's get into this group trip to Cape Town, South Africa. Yes, y'all, Skye Squad, we are hitting South Africa and we are hitting it hard. April 10th through the 17th of 2025. You can click the link in the description of this video to get more information and to reserve your spot. Now, we're going to keep this intimate because we have a lot to do. We are going to be looking at real estate. We're going to be learning about retirement and permanent visas, dual citizenship, buying and purchasing land. We are going to be looking at it all because we want options in South Africa, baby. And listen, Cape Town is one of my favorite cities. So of course, we're going to be doing some of my favorite things. We are going to be hitting the wineries. We are going on a safari. We're going to Table Mountain. We're going to some of my favorite restaurants. Let me tell you, one of them is Gold Star, baby. If you know, you know. We're going to be meeting with some expats who have relocated from the United States to Cape Town as well. This is going to be a luxury experience, okay? So we're talking doing the absolute most. So if you've ever wanted to go to Cape Town, South Africa, but maybe you didn't have the group to go with, maybe you just didn't have the right people that wanted to go and experience it with you, this is an opportunity for you to come with us. Now, I only have about 10 to 12 spots available. Yes, because again, I'm trying to keep this thing intimate and I know that what type of experience I want it to be. So get in while you can, y'all. Trust me, in 2025, we are going to be needing all the options that we can get. And I am going to do my utmost to bring us the most that we can possibly get in and out of the country. So come with me to South Africa. The group trip is going to be lit. April 10th through the 17th. go ahead and click the link in this description of this video so that you can reserve your spot today. Cape Town, South Africa awaits.